Some creators with tiny channels post their very first video and explodes past 100,000 views, while others upload for months and can't break 500. The difference isn't luck, you guys, and it's not the algorithm playing favorites. It comes down to a strategy most beginners never even hear about. And once you know it, every video you upload has a chance of taking off. The foundation of that strategy starts before you ever hit record, because not all ideas are created equal. Here's where a lot of beginners get tripped up. They'll upload videos titled My Morning Routine or Episode 3 of My Journey, and then wonder why nobody clicks. It's not that morning routines or documenting your journey are bad topics. Those are actually proven popular ideas. The problem is how they're framed. My morning routine is vague and personal. A stranger doesn't know you yet, so there's no reason for them to care. But if you frame that same idea as, I tried every productivity guru's morning routine for a week, now it's specific, curiosity-driven, and promises a clear outcome. That shift is what makes a stranger stop and click. So here's the distinction every creator needs to learn. First, you have idea discovery, finding topics that people already care about. You can spot these by scrolling Reddit threads, TikTok trends, or even looking at what big channels in your niche are making videos about, or even reading comments of your videos or other people's videos in your niche. Morning routines, productivity hacks, side hustles, and tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of other topics are ideas that already have built-in interest. Then comes idea framing. What is your unique angle on that topic? That's where creativity comes in. You take the broad idea and turn it into a specific promise or conflict that feels worth clicking. Morning routine becomes, I tried waking up at 4 a.m. for a week and it broke me. The big picture idea discovery gives you the topic. The framing or your unique perspective or value gives you the hook. To make this practical, here's a checklist you can run your next video idea through. Ask yourself the following questions. Number 1, would a total stranger understand and be curious about this video or topic? Number 2, does the title promise a specific outcome or experience, not just a broad topic? Number 3, does the idea, the title, the thumbnail trigger an emotion, excitement, frustration, surprise, mystery, curiosity, validation? And number 4, would someone share this with a friend? If you could check those boxes, you've got a strong seed for a video. And here's the kicker. If your video seed is strong, half the work is already done. But you guys, even the best ideas can still flop if nobody clicks. That's where your title and thumbnail combo come in. Think of your title and thumbnail like a movie poster. If you went to the movie theater and you're walking down the halls and you see a bunch of movie posters that were drawn in crayon, would you be enticed to want to go and watch those movies? Maybe if it's a kid's movie, but if it's the next Mission Impossible and it's sketched like a child drew it, it's probably not going to be that enticing. Well, it's the same concept when it comes to thumbnails. If you don't entice someone with your thumbnail by getting them to ask a question that they then have to click on the thumbnail to have their question resolved, then you're not taking advantage of what a thumbnail truly is designed to do. Your thumbnail is the first impression that determines whether someone gives your content a chance. The thumbnail has to seal the deal. And I know in 2025, there has been a lot of advice as to what makes a good thumbnail. Well, I can tell you right now that the trick isn't necessarily exaggerating emotion or doing the stereotypical thumbnail face that's like a, or an effective thumbnail sparks a question. Is this real? Is this what I'm actually going to get in this video? That's the kind of curiosity that makes a viewer stop scrolling. Here are 3 tricks that I use right now to make that happen. First, go hyper raw. Don't over edit or polish your thumbnails to death. Use real looking frames, natural lighting, even slightly imperfect shots. The more it looks like it was pulled from real life, the more authentic it feels, and that authenticity gets clicks. Second, lean into stoic or subtle expressions instead of cartoonish ones. A calm, serious, or almost caught off guard look often makes viewers more curious than an over-the-top shocked reaction. And third, make sure the thumbnail actually pays off according to the title. If the title says, I survived 7 days on $1 a day, the thumbnail should show a visual that makes the viewers wonder, did this really happen? If the title is the promise, my friends, the thumbnail is the proof. Together, they're both what makes someone choose your video over the dozen others on their homepage. All right, guys, now anybody can clickbait their way to getting someone to watch a video. Now, after they click, this is where the real important part kicks in. The next challenge is keeping them watching your content. And this is the part that almost everyone gets wrong. You don't earn a 10-minute watch time in one shot. You earn it in 30-second chunks. Too many creators lose half their audience before the content even begins. And the fix is really simple. Lead with the payoff and then rewind. Don't start with, in this video, I'll show you productivity hacks. Start with, this #1 hack doubled my productivity last week, and here's what happened. Within seconds, the viewer knows the outcome they're waiting for. One of my favorite hooks ever comes from a Mr. Beast video. It's when he was Ubering people and then giving them the car at the end of the video. His hook starts with, in today's video, I'm going to be Ubering people, and at the end of the ride, giving them a car. We literally have a Lamborghini.
I am going to Uber people, but at the end of the ride, let them keep the car. We literally have a Lamborghini, and I'm going to give it away. You want to watch this video.
You understand the entire framework for the video and the payoff in the first 5 seconds. The faster you can help the audience understand what the payoff is going to be, the more likely they're going to be to watch the entire video. All right, and then every 30 seconds to a minute, drop a micro hook. Something like, but in a minute, you'll see why this all makes sense. Or, but that's not the best part. Micro hooks are just soft teases as to what's going to come. The best creators on the platform open story loops all throughout their video, and then they don't close all of their loops until the very end of their video. So they keep you constantly engaged because you're curious to see what happens next. The more micro hooks you can incorporate into your video, typically the longer the audience will want to watch. The goal is to never let attention run out. If you can keep viewers engaged, earning their attention 30 seconds at a time, YouTube will keep pushing your videos further. All right, but holding attention isn't always enough. You see what I just did there? That was a micro hook. The real growth happens when 1 view leads to 3, and that comes from building what I call a binge path. A binge path isn't just about linking videos with end screens. It's about creating consistent formats and an identity for your channel so viewers know exactly what to watch next. Think about Ryan Trahan's I Survived on 1 Penny series, or even Jenny Hoyos. Her channel is basically a library of relatable and humorous moments. Watch one and you instantly know what the next 5 are going to deliver. The simplest way to build your own binge path is to give your audience something consistent to expect. That could be a recurring series, a repeatable challenge format, or even just a recognizable way you frame every video. If someone can click on one of your uploads and immediately understand what they'll get from the rest, you built a foundation of a binge path. And then you want to reinforce it visually. When your thumbnails and titles feel like they belong to the same world, people can spot a you video instantly, even on a crowded homepage. And this ties directly into the most powerful growth lever, the double down strategy, because binge paths don't happen by accident. They happen when you notice what's resonating and lean into it. Your breakout video usually comes with signals from YouTube. Beginners make the mistake of moving on too fast, but smart creators double down by taking those signals and turning them into more content. Now, one of my client channels that I saw this on was Quasi. One of our thumbnail formats blew up past everything else, and instead of leaving it as a one-off, we reused that style across multiple uploads. Every single one performed above average, some of them getting hundreds of thousands of views, if not millions of views. That's the double down strategy at work. Make sure you use it. All right, now here's how you can find opportunity in your analytics. Just go to your analytics, scroll down, look at your top videos in blank period, and look for the patterns. Can you make series formats out of your top view videos? Is there a pattern in your titles? Is there consistency in your thumbnails? Once you find those patterns, just bake them into your next videos, and voila, you have a binge path that you can just repeat over and over again. That way, every new upload not only stands on its own, but feels like a natural continuation of what's already working. This is how you turn 1 view into 3 and 3 views into 30. You're not just uploading videos anymore, you're building momentum. Now, here's the curveball, my friends. You can have strong ideas, great thumbnails, tight retention, and a binge path that pulls people in, but all of it still lives under YouTube's rules. And YouTube just changed the rules. There's a new update rolling out that could completely shift how small channels grow. That video is right here. We'll see you over there. Bye.